Good morning, it's Deborah, and today I want to talk to you about the power of pretending. So, a couple days ago, I was driving home and I saw this little bunny, teeny weeny baby. It was like this big, and it was running across the street. And when it saw my car, it stopped right in the middle of the street and it put its ears flat on its head and it pretended to be a rock. Now, I knew it was a bunny because I could see it running halfway, and it just stopped and pretended to be a rock. So I stopped, and it just lies there, and it's like totally being a rock. And then I backed up to give it some space, and then it ran away. A couple days later, I was telling my husband, do you know what bunnies do? They pretend like they're rocks. And that's probably where the expression quick like a bunny comes from, because they can run quick away. But they also, when they're scared, they freeze, right? That's their fight or flight. They freeze and they pretend to be a rock, and that's what protects them. So we're walking our dog in this open space, and then we come upon three bunnies, and they're all pretending to be like rocks. And all three of them are in the grass, and I got up pretty close to all of them, and they're all lying there with their ears flat back like this on their head, and they're like, but they're not moving. So I was thinking about, well, what's the power of pretending? What's the power of pretending to be something you're not? And this cuts both ways, because when you're pretending to be something you're not, in the case of fake it till you make it, you act as if, right? So let's talk about one of the biggest objections, one of the biggest challenges I hear with my clients is, I want to make more money. How can I make more money? How come I can't make more money? And they start going into every reason, every justification, every argument for why they can't make more money. And when you do that, neurologically, you're telling your brain, go look for a whole bunch of examples of why I don't deserve to make more money, why I don't deserve to have more money, why I will never make more money, what's everything that's wrong with me. And all of a sudden, you start this incredibly long list that doesn't end of everything that's wrong with you. You think that's going to help you? I don't. So here's an alternative. When you go down that path of finding everything that's wrong with you, you're going to actually turn into a rock, just like those little bunnies, and you're not going to take action because you're just going to be so freaking scared. You're just going to stay there waiting for something to run you over, right? That's not the way to growth. That is not the way, I mean, that is a way for self-preservation for sure, but that's not the way if you want to grow your business, if you want to be more creative, if you want to have a lifestyle that gives you the opportunity to manage your own time. And it doesn't take $1 million to manage your own time. It takes you deciding that you deserve to want what you want and then go and create it, right? I schedule meditation into my day. That is free, right? It's just me saying, this is my priority. I'm committed to this, and I make it happen no matter what. I also schedule swimming time in the outdoor pool that I love, which you guys know, and I schedule it into my day. It's free. Well, it's not exactly free. I think I pay $130 for the entire summer. And it creates so much pleasure and joy for me. And I never miss it because I schedule it in. It is such a priority that I make it happen. So here's my point about the bunny that's hiding. I'm going to get back to how your brain is working. So if you're always thinking about, I can't, I never will, I always fail, you're going to find proof for that, because that's how your brain works. It's basically a prediction machine, and it's going to go look for proof. You could also train your brain to look for everything that it can accomplish. Look for possibility. Look for proof of all the ways that you're already, I'm going to use the example of money, already experiencing a lot of wealth. So I'm talking about wealth of freedom right now, right? That I have time to meditate. I have time to swim. I have time to sit outside in my yard right here in this beautiful Buddha fountain and make a video for you. So you can train your brain, look for proof of what it's already got. Look for proof of knowing that you're rich. So let's say you want to make more money, pretend that you already are. Your brain can't tell the difference between you failing. In fact, I don't even think there is such a thing as failing, but your brain can't tell the difference between something happening that feels terrible and something happening that feels awesome. So go hang out in a 5-star hotel and order a cup of tea. Go walk in a botanical garden where everything is so rich and lush. You know, walk around in shops where rich people shop. Hang out in neighborhoods. Just walk around in neighborhoods that have beautifully manicured gardens. Check into a 5-star hotel and book a massage. Act like you have the money that you want to have, or act like you have the freedom that you want to have. Act like you have the time that you want to have. Act like you have the relationship that you want to have. That kind of pretending is incredibly powerful, because when you set your focus to that, you're going to start finding examples of that all around. So that's a really great way to pretend, is pretend that it already is. Your brain won't know that it isn't, and you will keep pretending that it is until it actually is. Now, here's another way that pretending will take you off. Most of us pretend to be less than. Most of us have this thing running called the imposter syndrome, where we pretend to be less talented, less accomplished, less articulate, less deserving, less expert. We pretend to be smaller. We pretend to be less valuable. Why? Ask yourself that question. Why am I pretending that I am less than I am? Why am I pretending that I deserve less than I'm actually receiving? And I'm not talking about money, right? A lot of times people get super derailed by thinking that money is going to give them stuff. Money is just energy. It's just something you're projecting your desires onto. You deserve to have what you want. Why are you pretending that you don't deserve to be happy? Why are you pretending that you don't deserve freedom? That's just a question for you, right? You're pretending. I want you to explore that question honestly. Why are you playing small? Why are you pretending to be a rock? Because in some belief system that is running in you, you think it's safer, which it is for the time being. It's safer in the short term to be comfortable with where your nervous system has gotten accustomed to living. In the long-term view, what's it going to be like for you 20 years from now if you don't write that book, if you don't make that movie, if you don't take that vacation, if you don't fall in love with yourself? What's it going to be like for you? How is pretending to be small protecting you? And how is pretending to be small limiting you? It's all context, and you get to decide what the context is. So that's what I want to share today, inspired by the adorable little bunnies that are all over Colorado. Have an awesome day, and let me know how this resonates for you. Much love.